Hi everyone, we are starting a brand new unit and our unit is all about transformations. So you can think of transformations like the Transformers. They change into something. Well, it's the same thing with math. So transformations are when you have one figure and you do something to it so it changes into something else. That new figure is called an image. So the type of transformation or change that we're going to talk about today is called a translation. And so a translation is a type of change. A translation is a type of transformation where a figure slides from one place to another. It stays the same direction, same shape, same everything, except it just moves from one place to another. So a translation is a type of transformation that moves a figure from one place to another. All right, so you can think of almost like a language, right? So if we're going to translate from one language to another, you're taking the exact same words and you are changing them from one thing to another. So let's say I was speaking in French and I'm going to say the same thing, but I want to say it in Italian. So you're taking those same words and just changing them to a different location or a different type of language. So it's a type of transformation, so you're just changing that shape or that figure from one place to another. Okay, so for example, let's say that I have a shape that looks like this. I'm going to take that shape and I am going to translate it or move it from here. It will slide to there. It's the exact same shape. It just moved from here to there. So it simply just slides. A figure that is not a translation, if I started with this one, a rectangle like this, and then I moved it or slid it from here, and then it looked like this now, this one is not a translation because something got mixed up in the message. So it started straight up and down, but then when it moved, it fell over and it got longer. So this one would not be a translation. So translations need to stay the same and just move from one place to another. Okay, so how exactly does this look? What does this look like when we're translating or moving images from one place to another? So usually when we have translations, they give us directions and tell us how to move the shape. So let's start with our with an example. And on our example, you're going to want to get one of your coordinate plane stickies. And we're going to have example A. So in example A, they have the coordinates, and let's see, yours is kind of in the middle, huh? Remember correctly. All right. So on our sticky note, we are going to have a figure that has 3 points. So it's a triangle. Our first point is at -2, 1. I'm going to go over to -2 and up to 1. That is point A. My second point B is at 2, 5. So I'm going to go over to 2 and up to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's point B. And then point C is at 1, 2. So I'm going to go over to 1 and then up to 2, and that is point C. And I'm going to connect these to make my triangle. So this is what my first original shape will look like. Now, Big Ideas will give you the shape and then tell you how to move it. So the directions here says to move each vertex 3 units to the right and 3 units down. So we want to translate 3 units right and 3 units down. Okay, so we're just going to start by looking at each point, and we're going to move each point to where we want to go. So point A originally started at -2, 1. So we're going to move this or translate it 3 units to the right and then 3 units down. So I'm going to take this point and I'm going to count 1, 2, and 3, and then go 1, 2, 3. So this is our new point A. The image is going to have an A with a little 1 next to it. So A with a little 1 next to it, the new point is at +1, -2. 1, -2. So now we're going to look at B. So point B originally started at over 1, 2, and up 5, right? So we were at 2, 5. Our new point is going to be B1, or B of 1. And this point, again, we're going to go over 3 to the right and then down 3. So over 3, 1, 2, 3, and then down 3. 1, 2, and 3. And this is our new example B1. Just like that. So the new points that we have are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, and then up 2. 5, 2. So if you notice, what I've done is the word down is like subtraction. The word to the right is adding or increasing on our number line. So I increased my x by 3, and I decreased my y value by moving it downward by 3. So you don't even need to graph. You can just use math if you wanted to add and subtract. Okay, and my last point, I started point C at 1, 2. And if I were to move this point by increasing it 3, I'm going to end up at 4. And then down by 3, I'm going to end at -1. But let's check this out and see. So we're going to go over 1, 2, and 3, and then down 3. 1, 2, 3. So our new point C, C1, is located at 4, -1. So again, I could have just added 3 because I moved to the right. When we move to the right on a number line, we're increasing. And then 3 units down means decreasing. So if you think about this, my x, and this is my y, you could almost just add or subtract. But now we're going to connect our dots here, and we're going to be able to see that we did not change the shape at all. It's the exact same shape. It's the same size. It's facing the same direction. It's just slid from one place to the next. So it's just sliding from one to the other. So you can graph it, or you can use the directions to tell you, are you adding or are you subtracting? Okay, let's turn the page and we're going to do our next example. All right, so our next example that we're looking at is example number 2. And again, we're going to have another triangle. So let me turn my page. And our next triangle that we're looking at, example B. Example B, again, has 3 points and is a triangle. And this one, we're going to start with the middle. Oh, that's a really bad line. All right. Okay, so our first point, let's see what it says. It says that we want to translate the red triangle 2 units right and 5 units up. So 2 units right and 5 units up. Okay, so I'm going to make this a red triangle just like they asked us to. So we're going to start with our first. Do I have a red? There's my red. All right, so the first point, point A, is located at 1. Is that located at 1? Oh, it's, what is that located at? Oh, -2, 2. So our first point, point A, is located at -2, 1, -2. That is point A. So point A is located at -2, -2. All right, and point B is located at 0, 2. So we're going to go nowhere and then go up 1, 2. That's point B. And then point C is located at 3, 0. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3 and go nowhere. And that is point C. Okay, so now I'm going to connect the dots. Connect the dots, la, la, la. There we go. A to B, B to C, and C back to A. Boom. All right, now we're going to translate this figure. 2 units to the right. So if I'm sliding this 2 units to the right, if I go towards the right, that means I'm increasing on my number line. So really I'm adding 2 to X. And then my second step is 5 units up. So my Y value says that I'm going to go 5 units up. Well, if I'm increasing on my number line, I'm adding 5 to my Y values. Okay, so we can look at this problem by looking and seeing, this one was 3, 0. We could even just add straight here without having to draw, if we really wanted to. So let's first start with point A. Point A, we're going to move it 2 units to the right and then 5 up. So I'm going to go 2 units to the right, 1, 2, and then up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this is going to be A1. So when I slide this, A1, A of 1, image 1, is going to be at 0, 4. So 0, 4. If you think about our movements there, is that right? 1, 2, oh no, that's 3. 0, 3. Oops. Duh, because when I add 5 to this, I get a positive 3. So -2 plus 5 gives us a positive 3. Okay, next, our next figure here is at 0, 2. So our new B, we're going to slide dot B. It starts at 0. We're going to slide it to the right 2. So adding 2. So we're at 2. And then this, so we're going to add 5 and go up 5 more. So over 2 and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we are at B1 is over 1, 2, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 plus 5 is 7. 0 plus 2 is 2. So B1 is going to be 2, 7. And then our last but not least dot is starts at 3, 0. I want to add 2, so I'm going to move over to 5. So 1, 2, there's 5. And then I'm moving up 5. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Point C1. So C1 image is now at 5, 5. All right, and then we just connect our dots, just like we have been. Connect them in the order that you drew them and move the dots. It's a translation because it's the exact same image facing the same way, same height, same shape, same dimensions. It just happens to be moved to a different location. All right, it is your turn now for a try it. It's your turn for a try it. So the first try it that I'm giving you is I would like for you to please look at so the first thing I want you to do is let's move this out of the way. I'm going to make you a new triangle. And this triangle starts, there we go. Make it. All right, so we're going to go back to our first starting point. So A is going to be at -2, 1. B is going to be at 2, 5. And C is going to be at 1, 2. Okay, and then we're going to move 4 units left and 2 units up. Okay, all right. And then the second try it I have for you, so that's try it number 1. And try it number 2, I want you to tell me, is this a translation? Is this a translation? Is that a translation? All right, go ahead and hit pause right now so you don't hear me solving, and then when you're ready, come on back. So our first triangle that we're going to have is A, B, C. So -2, 1. So -2, 1, that is A. B is 2, 5. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And C is 1, 2. Over 1, up 1, 2. Okay, so we're back to this tiny little flat triangle here. And it says that I am moving this triangle 4 units left. So left means that I am getting smaller, so I'm subtracting 4 on my X value. And adding 2, because 2 units up. So left is getting smaller on the number line. 2 units up is getting bigger on the number line. And Y is adding 2. So if I were to subtract 2 from my A. If I were to subtract 2, it would be negative 2 minus 4, and that gives me negative 6. And then adding 2 would be 3 to here. So let's go ahead and check and see if that's where our new triangle is going to land. I'm going to use purple, I think, for this one. Okay. Oops, I didn't label this as a C. Okay, so they want us to move this red triangle. So 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, oops, negative 6, and then up 2. 1, 2, right there. Ignore that dot. So this is A1. A1 is over 6, and then up 1, 2, 3. So we are at negative 6, 3. So I've added negative 4, added 2, and I get negative 6, 3. On 2, point number 2, which is B, I'm going to translate this one 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 2, 1, 2. You're just moving dots. So you are at negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Negative 2, 7. And then our last one, C1, we're starting at 1, 2. We're going to go over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 1, 2. Exact same triangle, just new coordinates. So we're at negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 3, 4. And I know 1 plus a negative 4 is going to give me negative 3. And I know that 2 plus 2 is 4, so those coordinates check out. All right, how did you do? Should started with this triangle, ended with this one. Go ahead and, oh, and then this. Is this a translation? No, it's not a translation because, yes, it did move. However, the triangle changed shapes. So go ahead and write your, answer your essential question. What are translations? So what are translations? How do we translate? And put your level of understanding out to the side. When you are finished, you may come on back to the Google Meet and ask for help if you need it, or you can do your practice work. As always, I appreciate all of your hard work and effort, and make it a great